Welcome to the Bitcraft Online Week 9 Progress Update. As you can see by the new outfit, we hit level 40 for the blacksmith outfit. Pretty much we got a neat red do-rag and a belt. Not the biggest fan, so we're going to go ahead and remove and go back to our forestry outfit. We now have over 280 hours of gameplay on here. Myself as the rest of the community has definitely been slowing down. The concurrent player count that we had at launch was roughly, I think, 3K. I believe it's at roughly 1,000 to 1.5K now. I'll make a video analyzing that in the near future. But it definitely feels like this game is slowly dying off, so hopefully the devs have some new updates coming out to keep it going. So we had some pretty big changes in the Jackals of the Coast Empire that merged with Ludenia on the last episode. According to the Discord, it looks like Little John actually may have quit playing, and Mr. Fister is now kind of leading that Discord. And with that transition, he was requesting that we join the Hold My Beer Empire instead of the one that we ended up merging into. So in the video, you'll see quite a bit of people from Hold My Beer actually living in Port Jackal. I personally won't join the new empire because all in all, it doesn't affect me or anything I got going on currently in this stage of the game. They don't have any incentives or anything like that that changes any type of gameplay that's currently out. As you can see, the Veltrossen Empire or Federation, that's pretty much all this gray area over here. That's the one that we got merged into, and then there's Hold My Beer, just that little kind of sliver on the bottom left. Going into the gear tab, we've actually bought a new pair of boots, raised our energy or stamina up by 19 points. So now all we're looking for is a better pair of pants, which I see no one likes to sell. Going on into the professions tab, we had 9 levels in smithing to get us that new outfit, and then 10 levels in mining. The gathering skills always level up so much slower than any of the processing type skills for some reason. Not sure why the devs have it so that the processing skills have like XP modifier on it. Going on into the skills tab, if you have been watching the progress updates, you already know no changes because I'm not doing the turn-ins anymore. Like I said earlier about player count, definitely dying off. As you can see, like no one's even in this town anymore. Market activity has been dying with it as well. Still making some money off of our old timber that we put on the market, but as you could see earlier, that peerless leather that I've had kind of pre-ordered, there is a lot of those items in there now. People are just charging significantly more than what I was trying to buy it for. Still made a good chunk of coins. I'm pretty sure we sold all of the tier 3 timber. Don't have any more of that in stock, and then not going to claim the rest of those items, just waiting to get those to start up a queue to upgrade the axe and saw. We're going to go ahead and check out BeerHold, the capital of the Hold My Beer Empire, just to kind of check and see why they want the rest of the group to join that empire. I mean, each city's going to be roughly the same. It's just going to be the different tier of crafting stations. They do have a cool little design of the BH for BeerHold on the bottom of that there. And this is the first actual city that I've seen that has different tiers of terrain rather than just being a flat ground across the entire thing. So it is pretty nice to look at aesthetically. It is always nice to see like the king or empire ruler actually playing. He's actually active, which is nice in comparison. Best way to tell if an empire is actually active though is by checking out their marketplace. If they have anything of like the most current highest tiers, like tier 6 and up, they should have actual active players. And there's quite a bit of items on the marketplace, so I'm assuming, well, already in comparison, if you were to look at Port Jackal, there's a lot more people actually playing now, rather than being like the only one in the town. Going to 10x speed just to let you take a quick little peek around this town. Not much different. They have a ton of crafting type areas, all in straight lines, which are nice to work with. And then they, I guess in the port area, they have a neat little initial ground that they set up for themselves. We're going to go ahead and hop on over to Ludenia, the actual capital of the empire that I'm currently in, the Veltrossen Federation. Main thing we're going to do is just do like a market comparison to see if they're in like tier 7 or tier 8 to see if there is more activity amongst players. And as you can see, they do have tier 7 tools that actually listed for sale. That is the first time I've seen that, so it's pretty neat. Overall, I do think they're just a lot more active than in comparison to BeerHold, so I don't understand why exactly they would want to try to do that transition. I do have something neat to show you. I'm just teleported home to that little ruined city of Ashglen. So you remember around, what was it, week 7, where we ended up beating up trees for an entire week just to get up to level 60 forestry? Those 2 banks that we were utilizing to put all those tier 5 trunks in, well, those settlements have decayed, so all of those trunks should be back here. This is probably the best method if you want to farm really high resources, just to create a settlement with a bank and then let the timer run out for the supplies so that it ends up decaying and just sends everything back to the ruined city. I could see the devs fixing this in some way in the future, because transporting that much logs, like 3,000 logs for no fee just by letting a city decay to go back to the ruins, is kind of broken. Really curious how much XP 3,000 logs will be, but maybe that'll be in the next episode. We'll see. But anyways, thanks for watching. You guys have a good rest of your week.